there's the start. And Archbishop of basketball, goal! He hung on that net like a stork up a tree.
NTA Sports 24 brings you all sports, all time and all day.
Fasting on Tuesday, the first official working day of the year, I believe that Mr. President will be signing the appropriation bill 2023.
2023 Budget of Fiscal Sustainability and Transition. President Buhari to sign next Tuesday.
Today, the authority has sealed 7 depots across the whole country.
Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority seals 7 petrol depots across the country. And presidential candidates intensify campaigns as 2023 general elections draw closer. It's nice that you can join us on the network news on NTA. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Michael Olaleye joins us from the Center of Excellence, Lagos. Remember, you can follow this broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, on YouTube, where you can also catch the replay, and do follow us on all our social media handles displayed on the screen. The 2023 Budget of Fiscal Sustainability and Transition of the federal government is to be signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday next week. Senate President Ahmed Lawan announced this while speaking to newsmen after an audience with the President. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
It's the State House, the seat of government, for an official engagement with President Muhammadu Buhari, perhaps for the last time in the year 2022. He is here to brief the President on the passage of the 2023 Appropriations Bill, 2022 Supplementary Budget, and the Finance Bill 2022, amongst other issues of interest to the country and the governing APC. The Senate President described the high-level meeting held behind closed doors as very fruitful.
And fasting on Tuesday, the first official working day of the year, I believe that Mr. President will be signing the appropriation bill 2023. We are very pleased that we have been able to, in the last 4 years, ensure the passage of the appropriation bills in record time before every Christmas, and Mr. President had always signed before the end of the year. When the federal government passes and assents to the appropriation bill and the states do the same, the economy starts to receive injection of funds right from January of the following year. So we, without sounding immodest, in the 9th Assembly and working very harmoniously in a very cordial manner with a great arm of government, have been able to make this economy a little bit better, and we have assured Mr. President that between now and May 29th, when he would finish his tenure, his second tenure, that the legacy projects should be completed. Many of them are at the verge of being completed. Some have even been completed. The second Niger Bridge, for example, something that defied all the previous administrations. This administration has succeeded in constructing that second Niger Bridge, and of course, our people in the southeast, particularly and the south-south, are already have started utilizing that bridge. And there are so many.
President Buhari and his guest also discussed preparations for the forthcoming 2023 elections.
We have recommitted ourselves to ensuring that we give INEC whatever it needs for it to conduct a very free, transparent, and credible 2023 general elections. And we are here at all times between now and June 11th, when our tenure will also expire as a legislature in the National Assembly. But before then, whatever INEC needs for 2023 to be a success, we will surely and certainly provide such support. We have no regrets whatsoever for working together to ensure that we support the executive arm of government in ensuring good governance, providing infrastructure across the country. And there is no part of this country today that does not have one project, one infrastructure development or the other. The federal government of Nigeria, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, has done quite a lot, and I personally feel that it deserves all the support of Nigerians. Those of us in position of authority as members of the National Assembly, we continue to give the kind of support that is required, that is necessary for this administration to finish strong and finish very, very well.
Senator Lawan described as unfortunate that some people either criticize ignorantly or do not see anything good in what have been accomplished so far by the Buhari presidency for reasons best known to them. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
It's the fourth time in a row the National Assembly will be passing the budget before the next calendar year. Experts say the passage of the 2023 appropriation bill is promising, given the inherent multiplier benefits expected to boost employment and development. Neka Oku reports.
The 1.3 trillion naira increase in the budget size, as separately explained by chairmen of the preparation committees at both chambers of the National Assembly, arose from additional funding earmarked for the National Population Commission (NPC) ahead of the planned 2023 census, as well as for the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the 2023 general elections, the Nigerian Army, Navy, Nigeria Police Force, Ministries of Agriculture, Health, Aviation and Science and Technology. A breakdown of the budget allocation indicates that Works and Housing got the highest capital vote of 398.2 billion naira, followed by Defense, which got 285 billion naira, while Agriculture got 248.3 billion naira.
At 6.5 trillion that will be used as debt services, I think the fact that more than 60% of that, at 4.4 trillion naira, is retained for domestic creditors, and just about 1.81 for foreign creditors, is indicative of the fact that the Nigerian economy can be properly supported by our local domestic capital markets. And of course, that 4.48 trillion domestic debt servicing allocation, it would help a long way to provide continued liquidity in the capital markets.
According to the Nigerian Infrastructure Implementation Master Plan, Nigeria has an infrastructure deficit valued at $8 trillion, requiring about 100 billion naira annual investment within the next 30 years to bridge the gap. With the 398.2 billion naira allocated to the Ministry of Works and Housing, experts hope that the deficit would be reduced significantly, and that would mean improved condition of infrastructure, particularly roads, to connect more communities, thereby encouraging economic development.
When you look at the economic diversification and trying to take care of the issue of poverty, which is necessary, agriculture and rural development has a role to play in the issue of alleviating poverty, and also to take care of the issue of food security, which is also becoming a challenging issue, especially with the effect of the Russia and Ukraine war. So if you look at the three sectors, the way the budget is appropriation is being allocated to them, it speaks what the government really want to achieve.
We have also passed the supplementary budget for 2022. We expect total implementation, no selective implementation. It should be total, because this has been what this administration has always tried to do.
If budget discipline is anything to go by, and the government chooses to be meticulous in implementing the 2023 budget, the experts say impact would be much. Neka Oku, NTA News.
And still on impact, year 2022 has been a decisive period in the 9th National Assembly as the complexities of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and its eventual passage remains the high point of the 2022 legislative interventions. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo takes us through these interventions and other activities in the Senate in 2022.
From the 18th of January, when the Senate reconvened for 2022 session to December 2022, it has been a bill production chamber. The first major legislative intervention for 2022 came on the 19th of January, when the Senate reconsidered and passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2020, which rescinded its earlier decision and now gave political parties right to decide its mode of primaries in what would be a historic reformation of Nigeria's electoral system. The House of Representatives had rejected consensus, but on the 25th of January 2022, both chambers harmonized and adopted direct, indirect, and consensus.
This is one of our major pillars and planks in our legislative agenda when we started in 2019.
The Supreme Court ruling that struck out the suit filed by the federal government challenging Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act 2022, which banned political appointees from voting at the primaries of political parties, did not strain the existing legislative-executive relationship. On the 23rd of February, Senate received report of its committee on the fifth alteration to the 1999 Constitution. 1st of March 2022, it voted and passed 44 of the bills, which included local government financial and administrative autonomy, but rejected the 3 women emancipation bills, which resulted in the blockade of the National Assembly gate by some Nigerian women.
This democracy, there are some clauses that I would have wished that they passed through, like that of the extra seat for women.
It's a great disappointment. We kind of saw it coming because we knew the men didn't quite believe in these bills.
Senate passed more than 10 bills in 2022, including anti-corruption bills, the 2022 supplementary budget, the 2023 appropriation bill, and the finance bill 2022. Parliamentary intervention in the economic sector focused on curbing revenue leakages, especially fuel theft. This prompted a meeting involving leadership of the Senate and heads of all paramilitary agencies on the 25th of January, with heads of revenue-generating agencies and also engaged heads of security agencies.
There has never been an administration that invested so much resources in the security of this country like this present administration.
Senate confirmed more than 25 presidential appointees, including that of Justice Olukayode Ariwola as Chief Justice of Nigeria, 7 ministerial nominees, chairman and board members of the Niger Delta Development Commission. 27th of July 2022, the day Senate embarked on its annual recess, members of the opposition threatened to impeach President Muhammadu Buhari if the security situation in the country does not improve, but all that fizzled out before their resumption. On the 27th of July 2022, Senator Ibrahim Gobiru replaced Senator Yahya Abdullahi as the majority leader of the Senate, following Yahya's defection to the PDP, while Senator Enyinaya Baribe defected to ABGA, and Senator Philip Aduda took over as minority leader. 2 members left the Senate, Senators Abdullahi Adamu and Abubakar Kyari, who became the national chairman of APC and deputy national chairman North. With 6 months still left to wind up, the 9th Senate believes it has accomplished its legislative agenda. As of December 2022, Senate is made up of 63 APC senators, PDP 39, NNPP 3, ABGA 1, YPP 2, and Labour Party 1. Ignatius Onkwo, NTA News.
Still on legislative matters, besides the constitutional responsibilities of lawmaking and oversight, which saw the passage of landmark bills like the Electoral Act 2022, the 9th House of Representatives also made impact in key sectors for the well-being of citizens. National Assembly correspondent Alami Ali reports. on activity.
The passage of the 2023 annual budget is the last legislative exercise in the year 2022 for members of the House of Representatives. It is also the last annual budget to be considered and approved by the 9th House as its life cycle terminates in June 2023. The appropriation bill brings the number of bills processed by the House of Representatives to more than 2,100. Among which are the Constitution Amendment bills, the highest number recorded so far in Nigeria's democracy.
346 bills have been passed at third reading, meaning we have completed the work on everything, transmitted them to the President for assent.
House members also passed several resolutions. One of the recent compelled the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to review the cashless policy.
We will be requesting to find out what that official assignment is that will keep the CBN governor away for almost 2 weeks.
The issue of him coming was just to fulfill all righteousness.
No, sir. The issue of him coming is in compliance with the law.
Yeah, compliance with the law. But we had already passed a resolution asking him to suspend the implementation of that policy.
We give the man another chance to come, and when he comes, all these questions can be raised, and I believe Nigerians will be convinced, and those of us who are here, foot soldiers of Nigerian people, will take the right decision on behalf of our people.
The 9th House of Representatives also placed its name on record as it was instrumental to the resumption of university lecturers to classrooms after months of industrial action. This was followed up with a national summit on education to come up with best options on the future of tertiary education in Nigeria.
The central public policy challenge is the conflict between the competing objectives of access and quality. How do we fund the quality tertiary education without imposing costs that make access to quality education impossible for most people?
At the continental level, the Speaker convened the first conference of speakers of African parliaments with an agenda to free the continent from the burden of debt, which experts agree slows down economic growth in Africa.
Unfair global economic system. Africa is rich but poor. We have everything, yet we have nothing.
The issue of debt relief is an important one, and it's central to the economic policies and practices of our African government.
And on a rather sad note, 2 House members died in 2022, bringing to 9 the number of 9th House members that died since inauguration. The Green Chamber now has 6 months to deliver on what remains of its legislative agenda as Nigeria moves into the election year. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
It's time for some messages. Stay tuned for more news on NTA.
The Acting Co-Marshal, FRSC, Dauda Alibiu, on behalf of FRSC management and staff, wishes to remind all the road users to obey all traffic rules and regulations as we journey into the Emirate season. Avoid excessive speed. Don't overload your vehicles. Always use the seatbelt while driving. Ensure proper maintenance of your vehicle before traveling this season. Avoid drinking while driving. Avoid night traveling if possible. In case of any road crashes or any road challenges, please call FRSC toll-free line 122 or call 0700. Call FRSC or 0700 2255372. Remember, only the living celebrates. Always drive to stay alive. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
See me, brother Shaggy, I get mega talent too. The one where I don't show na small self. If you mega star, now why I choose Glow Mega Data Plans, because nobody they do mega streaming like Glow. Oh yeah, make a show na another level. Let's go.
Glow Unlimited.
It's an anthem for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. All I to keep this hope alive, bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portends a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bringing them smiles back to all Nigerians.
The Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps FRC, merrily facilitates with all Christians this Christmas. It's a season to show love to all. As you celebrate the joy season, do not drink and drive. Ensure the use of your seatbelt while driving. Do not drive with worn-out tires. Obey all traffic rules and regulations and ensure your vehicle is in good condition and roadworthy. Consideration of other road users is everyone's responsibility. Remember, your life is precious to your loved ones and the nation. In case of emergency, please call FRSC toll-free line 122. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. This message is from the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO. Alhaji Yusuf Lawal Othman, National President, Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, announcer.
Recharge.
No data, no wahala. Buy, share, give, and manage your data on star 777 hash and enjoy amazing rewards and so much more. Dial star 777 hash.
Flow Unlimited. The holiday is upon us again. The Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng, in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC), joyfully congratulates all Christian faithfuls this Christmas period. It is a season for us to share love with friends and family. The safety of all travelers is our priority. Do not drive and drink. Use your seatbelt while driving. Don't drive with worn-out tires. Obey all traffic rules and regulations. Ensure your vehicle is in good condition and roadworthy. Consideration of other road users is everybody's responsibility. For emergency, please call FRSC toll-free line 122. Remember, your life is precious to your loved ones and the nation. Have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. This message is from Petroleum Tankers Drivers of Nupeng, Comrade Lucky Oseshwa, JP, National Chairman, PTD Branch of Nupeng, announcer.
The Emirate Council is inviting the general public to the turban ceremony of Ambassador Amir Rufai Abubakar CFR at the new Sardauna in Katsina. The program of events for the turban from 29 to 30th December 2022. The ceremony feature an inaugural conference with theme Tradition and Modernity, Trends and Issues and History of Katsina will take place at the Conference Hall of Katsina Motel. The turban ceremony will be performed by His Highness the Emir of Katsina, Alhaji Dr. Abdulmumin Kabir Usman CFR at the Emir's Palace on Saturday, 31st December 2022 by 10 a.m. General public is invited. Organizing committee announcer.
Thanks for staying tuned. We're talking medical matters now, beginning with the presidential wing of the State House Medical Center, which has been completed and awaits inauguration, barely 1 year after the construction work started. The permanent secretary of the State House, Tijani Umar, who led a team of presidential aides on a pre-handover inspection of the facility, describes its delivery as miraculous. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Designed, constructed and fully equipped with the most modern medical facilities, the presidential wing of the State House Medical Center is situated on 2,485 square meters within the precinct of the Nigerian seat of government. It has, amongst others, 2 specialist operating theaters capable of carrying out an organ transplant, 2 isolation suites, cardiac catheterization laboratory, 5 specialist fully equipped consulting rooms, CT scan and MRI suites, digital X-ray machines, healing garden, as well as a conference hall. The permanent secretary of the State House, Tijani Umar, was guided on tour of the facility alongside the personal physician to the president and the senior special assistant to the president on household and domestic affairs, as well as that of media and publicity.
There is a lot of installation of equipment going on, and I would want to say that this has provided us an opportunity to assess what has been achieved to date. This is also going to give us an excellent opportunity to make observations to the contractors. Whatever we have seen, we would review and would get back to them. Now, let me just make a note. This is not a luxury hotel. This is a complete presidential hospital, as you all have seen. We're not giving any last words. We're doing this so we can have an opportunity to assess what is on the ground and to get ready for the official commissioning when Mr. President approves.
This is a facility, world-class, state-of-the-art, with a lot of equipment and capability to carry out any procedure you can imagine. The previous one has been a little bit remote from the seat of power. This one is situated within the seat of power, within the villa, and emergencies come at any point in time. It can happen in the dead of the night. So the fact that this one is situated right here says a lot. And we've seen there is a lot of installation going on, and a lot of things are going to still come. This is just a pre-handover inspection we are doing. We are satisfied, and I think we have to congratulate all of us for this great feat.
I wish to thank Mr. President first for this project, and also I want to commend the PAMSEC, the CPP to Mr. President and the rest of the team for doing this project in good time.
The specialized intensive care center dedicated for the exclusive use of the president, vice president and other VIPs is situated on one suspended and basement floors for utilities and other services. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Medical equipment considered to be critical for improved healthcare delivery systems, learning and research have been donated to the Abuja University Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada, by the Romanian government in a bid to strengthen relations. Charles Alpha reports.
For years, the Romanian government, through its Agency for International Development, ROAID, has provided support to Nigeria in so many ways, and the donation of medical equipment to the Abuja University Teaching Hospital is to further consolidate that relationship. Standard blood pressure machines, standard pulse oximeter, 1,000-bed linen of 6x6 hospital beds, and pillowcases were medical items donated to the teaching hospital.
The Romanian government has been wisely assisting Nigerian governments certain places where they believe they will make impact. So this is just one of them. This is the first for this hospital, and I believe this will be the last.
Cerebral manometer and then a pulse oximeter. This will help us in taking care of our patients.
They are all very critical items. Talking about pulse oximeters, equipment that measure blood pressure, and all we can say is that we will make judicious use of them.
The Romanian consul to Nigeria donated the items on behalf of the government, and it is provided within the mechanism of official development assistance granted by Romania as a donor state, with financing from the Romanian budget state and implemented by its embassy in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has reiterated the federal government's commitment to improving healthcare services in the country through the provision of necessary health facilities. This was while inspecting facilities at the Federal Medical Center, Hong, Adamawa State. Correspondent Rayano Bala reports.
Federal Medical Center Hong, which began clinical services last month, is expected to provide tertiary healthcare services not only to the people of Hong and its environs, but the state and the country as a whole. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who inspected facilities at the FMC Hong, expressed satisfaction with the operations of the center so far. He said, federal government is committed to enhance healthcare services for a healthy and productive society.
We are trying to settle to ensure that all facilities are in working condition and the residences for the doctors and other auxiliary medical staff are also functioning. I'm quite impressed with what is happening.
The medical director FMC Hong, Professor Yakubu Wilberforce Nyadeti, is optimistic that with the support from the federal government, the center will provide the required healthcare services. Meanwhile, the SGF also inspected the Skills Acquisition Center in Hong, where he encouraged youth to utilize the center to acquire skills so as to become self-reliant. While in Hong, Boss Mustafa used the Christmas and New Year break to interact with the all students of Government Secondary School Hong, where they share ideas on how to further develop the school. In Eola, Royanu Bala, NTA News.
Away from health matters, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has sealed 7 petrol depots across the country. The Executive Director, Distribution System Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, Ogbugu Okoha, also sealed a filling station and arrested a dispenser at another filling station in Lokogoma, Abuja. Lydia Sampson reports.
The city centre for now is devoid of the long queues that characterize petrol stations at Yuletide.
179. It didn't take me 10 minutes. There's no queue. I don't think I spend a day without selling well here. So if I can do that, I don't think I can go ahead and say that it's casting.
My petrol is just low, so I just came to buy petrol. Yeah, I'm just hearing it from you now. So it's just scarcity or something. I don't know.
Some motorists, however, cautiously optimistic as they believe it is because most residents traveled out of Abuja. However, what is of major concern to motorists is the price differentials. While NNPC limited retail stations are selling within the government-approved price band, others are selling above. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority insists operators in the downstream must adhere to standard operating procedures as stipulated by the PIA.
We received reports of diversion of products and selling at 295 naira per litre 2 weeks ago, and the authority promptly sealed this station, only for us to return 2 weeks after. The operators of this outlet had broken our seal, and we're dispensing, as you saw right in front of us now. More particularly, it's not only retail outlets. Today, the authority has sealed 7 depots across the whole country.
He reiterated that government will not tolerate the impunity of some operators either in under-dispensing or overpricing of petroleum products, which has ripple effect on increasing prices across the value chains. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The National Agency for Science, Engineering, Infrastructure, NASENI, is leading by example in the campaign to reduce carbon emission and deforestation by inventing energy-saving cooking stoves and distributing them to women, beginning with Nasarawa State. Aliu Tijani reports.
Save 80 efficient cooking stove, an innovation of National Agency for Science, Engineering, Infrastructure, NASENI, is environmental friendly and smokeless. Women in Nasarawa State are among the first set of beneficiaries of the locally made stove. In all, 800 women across northern and southern zones of the state smile home with the stoves.
I am so delighted to be part of this beneficiary of the stove. It will not allow us to pay any amount for the currency again.
We really thank the federal government of Nigeria by giving us this stove.
Vice Chairman of NASENI, Professor Mohammed Sani Haruna, says more women across the country will benefit from the intervention.
It's a corporate social responsibility which will improve NASENI's eco-friendliness and carbon footprint, a positive contribution to climate change and service to humanity.
Governor Abdullahi Sule says the intervention is part of measures to end deforestation.
I'm happy that NASENI is actually carrying out the responsibilities for which is even initiated and created for. Today, what is happening in NASENI is what actually should have been happening in Nigeria many years ago, so that Nigeria will be somewhere else.
Women in southern zone of the state had earlier benefited from the stoves. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Women Affairs has commended the governor of Zamfara State for signing into law the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 on Thursday, bringing to 35 the number of states which have signed the act. The minister, Pauline Talon, in a statement, urges the governor to put in place systems for realizing the implementation, including ensuring that it is gazetted. On the political front, the presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, has promised to provide job opportunities for thousands of unemployed youth, free healthcare services, and harness the nation's natural resources for optimum utilization if elected. The NNPP candidate stated this when he visited Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kebbi states as part of his ongoing interface with states in the northwest. Muhammad Ali reports.
In Katsina State, the NNPP presidential candidate first port of call was Kankia Local Council, where he inaugurated party's office. Kwankwaso then proceeded to Bindawa and engage supporters on his plans, especially in creating job opportunities for unemployed youth.
A dukkanin asibitoci na gwamnati na kasar nan gabaki da za a yi wannan haihuwa kyauta.
Party stalwarts in the area appreciated the visit of their candidate, promising to vote massively come February 2023. At Oron Namuda in Zamfara State, Kwankwaso was received by party supporters in a throng that took in the town to canvass for votes. He also sought blessings from the Emir Sanusi Muhammad Asha, assuring the royal father that his administration will enhance agricultural activities and tackle insecurity in the area. Similarly, the presidential candidate of the NNPP was in Ilele town, Sokoto State, where supporters accorded him warm reception.
The issues are now well known and well documented by us on the ground, and we pray that Nigerians will do the right thing. The right thing, in our opinion, is to kick out the old system. It's not favoring the majority, only a very small clique that they think they own Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to everybody, all of us.
Kwankwaso rounded off his latest tour in Birnin Kebbi, where he assured the people of the state that if elected, he will bring about positive change not only in the state, but Nigeria as a whole. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
Speaking of positive change, in honor of the turbaning of Sardauna Katsina, putting the history of Katsina in the right perspective, scholars at an ongoing conference in the state are also focusing on finding solutions to the challenge of banditry. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
Sardauna Katsina Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, the Director General NIA, an intelligence officer par excellence, and a profound linguist. Now a turban around his head piles up his responsibility, and so the growing numbers of handshakes, pleasantries, prelude to a scholarly gathering on the hills of his formal turbaning.
I hope that what's going to come next will be the discussions of the matters arising from all the papers that were presented here and are documented.
That he has come to terms with, but most importantly, he expects scholars on the second day of the conference to brainstorm and put on the table ways of solving the menace of banditry which is bringing the Emirate to its knees. One of the scholars came up with an idea which many concur.
What we are saying is, it is not that the kinetic approach is completely useless. It is actually important and it is also relevant, but then we should open a true and a sincere window of dialogue.
And the comments that we had from the floor really had gone to ask, or rather had gone further to suggest that we should go beyond military or security operations and consider social problems.
Every paper, I want to tell you,
has a lot of relevance, and some of us are already thinking or replicating what has happened here in our local communities.
The conference had more than 28 paper presentations within the last 2 days. In Katsina, Abdullahi Muhammad, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Broadcasting Commission says it will not tolerate the use of any broadcast facility within and outside the country to create disunity. The warning is contained in a statement by the Director General Balarabe Shehu following reports of unveiling of Radio Ijangbara on January 1st by a group, the Ilono Omo Odua Worldwide. The NBC says it is working with the appropriate security agencies to book those with the intention of using the airwaves to create division, and appeals to Nigerians to support government in building a stronger nation towards the success of the 2023 elections. And let's now join Michael in the city of Lagos for more reports.
Thank you, Najatu. ASP Drambi Vandi, who allegedly murdered Mrs. Bolanle Rahim, a legal practitioner in Lagos, has been remanded at the Ikoyi Correctional Center. The Chief Magistrate, Lagos State Magistrate Court Yaba Adeola Olatunbosun, remanded the culprits to pave the way for the police to conclude investigations. Hinginojan Adams reports.
Drambi Vandi appeared before the Chief Magistrate Court, Yaba, a day after the Police Service Commission approved his suspension over the killing of Mrs. Rahim. The Lagos State Attorney General filed a one-count charge against ASP Drambi Vandi over the murder of Mrs. Bolanle Rahim. The prosecuting counsel applied for the remand of the defendant pursuant to Section 264 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos 2015. He told the Chief Magistrate that the basis for the remand is to allow the police conclude its investigations into the matter. The magistrate therefore granted the request to remand the defendant and ordered the case file be duplicated and sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, Dr. Jide Martin. She then adjourned the case to January 30, 2023 to await legal advice. In Lagos, Hinginu John Adams, NTA News.
In an attempt to bridge the employability skill gap among the Nigerian youths, a non-governmental organization, Knowledge Exchange Center, has in the last couple of years been impacting practicable skills and trainings on university and polytechnic graduates with a view to mitigating the rate of unemployment in the country. Chairman Knowledge Exchange Center Charles Unwodo said the initiative is also targeted at addressing underemployment among participants. Abolade Salami reports.
The decision reached by Knowledge Exchange Center to be involved in what today is causing both governments and organizations serious concern is born out of the zeal to contribute to a reduction in unemployment rate in the country. Apart from the gap training session, which essentially is an entrepreneurship boot camp designed to equip trainees with employability skills, and the advocacy program centered on addressing the missing link in subjects taught in schools and expectation of the job market. Knowledge Exchange Center also provides participants with basic information on job requirements.
We want to plan a national workshop on employability to bring together all the stakeholders, the employers of labor, so that we can facilitate a conversation between each of these stakeholders with a view to updating the curriculum and the skill sets and even the methodology, the teaching methodology that our students are exposed to in the university, so that they can be more relevant to today's requirements of the job market.
Identified as a meeting point where fresh graduates discover their potential and realize dream goals, Knowledge Exchange Center has produced a number of employable graduates and job creators.
We've trained over 3,000 graduates passed through our system. And the interesting thing is that all of those graduates have either gone ahead to start their own enterprises or secured gainful employment in corporations. So we have statistical validation for our program. It works.
Participants who had undertaken a series of trainings and capacity building sessions expressed their feelings.
Able to build upon my leadership skill, my collaboration skill, my communication skill as well.
I have been able to gain some skills that I hope to put into use in future.
With this training, the sixth since it was established, Management of Knowledge Exchange Center says the center is planning to launch a project in first quarter of 2023 known as Second Chance, targeted at ex-convicts to train them on how best to be resourceful and relevant to the society. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
You're still watching the news on the network service of the NTA. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news will be back shortly. Please stay.
Pension Commission PENCOM is pleased to inform the general public that the third edition of pension enhancement under the Contributory Pension Scheme CPS has been approved. The exercise is for existing retirees under program withdrawal who have accumulated significant growth in their retirement savings account RSAs. The effective commencement date of the enhancement is February 2023. All relevant retirees are by this notice advised to contact their respective pension fund administrators to complete their required documentation. PENCOM assures all stakeholders of its commitment to the effective regulation, supervision and administration of pension matters in Nigeria. Management announcer.
With 4 gigabytes for 1,000 naira, I have non-stop access to non-stop entertainment on YouTube. I miss my bus stop.
Slow, unlimited.
It's not depression. Time for family. Time for another get together. Hey, let's celebrate. Veleta moment. A happy moment. Veleta moment. It's time for connection. Laughter and love. It's time for sharing moments. Hey, let's celebrate.
Enjoy every moment with the goodness of Veleta sparkling fruit drink. Available in 75 cl and 37.5 cl bottles and comes in red grape, white grape, and peach variants. Another product of premium quality from Intercontinental Distillers Limited, ITL. Veleta sparkling fruit drink. Celebrate every moment.
Veleta.
When we are asleep in the night, they are awake. When we are awake in the morning, they are still awake. In the bush, air, land and sea. Every time, anytime, everywhere. They are our security forces. In season and out of season, standing in there for you and I. Standing in there for our nation to keep Nigeria safe. Let us always support them. Let us pray for them. Let us help them to serve us better, to serve the nation better. Let us support the federal government of Nigeria. Together, we can weather the storm. For vital information, call
091 3590 4467.
My people, my name is Emeka. Mekus Kamat. Let me get all this people. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when the day bust, then my eye open. I know to that 419 be. Now when EFCC babam, now they come bab me too. Now he make me they warn you all up when I want to do business like me. Where they carry big money, when I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. They could shine in my eye because the special control unit against money laundering, what they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them. Can I go where? Bank. If you don't do them like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license or they go shut them down. Pata for your hand. No talk say I know one you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
My son Aiden wants to be a great actor like you. How did I do? You did great. A couple of years ago is when his acting began.
Think you can play?
Yes.
Catch.
I take him to auditions and give him Twisco, our family favorite. With the right support, my boy is going to be a great actor. You got the role! Give your kids Twisco to support their big dreams. Twisco, power your dream.
If you want to become something, become a child again. Why be a patient? If you must worry, don't worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bring in germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dauda Alibiu as Corps Marshal and Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) for an initial term of 4 years. The appointment of Alibiu as Corps Marshal of the FRSC takes effect from 23rd December 2022 after being in acting capacity since July. Meanwhile, a statement from the Office of the Secretary, Government of the Federation, notes that the President has also renewed the appointment of Professor Mojisola Adeyeye as Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, for a final term of 5 years with effect from 1st December 2022. Similarly, Lanre Bajabiamila retains his appointment as Director General, National Lottery Regulatory Commission for a final term of 4 years with effect from 21st November 2022. And 5 executive directors of some river basin development authorities have been reappointed for a final term of 3 years with effect from 23rd November 2022. And now for business news with Musa Abubakar.
Thank you, Najatu. Oil was on track for a second straight annual gain in a turbulent year marked by a tight supply following the war in Ukraine, weakening demand from the world's top crude importer, China, and fears over global economic contraction. CNBC reports that crude surged in March with international benchmark Brent reaching $139.13 a barrel, the highest price since 2008 after Russia's invasion of Ukraine upended global crude flows. Prices cool rapidly in 2022. Second half has central banks hike interest rates and fan worries of sweeping recessions. The Nigerian Stock Exchange ended the last trading day of the year on a positive note. The all-share index advanced by 1.89% at 51,251.06 points to close the year in green. A total of 890.6 million securities valued at 7.35 billion naira exchange hands in 3,566 deals. Market capitalization increased to 27.91 trillion naira. Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC, Access Holding PLC, and Sterling Bank PLC were the most traded stocks. That's a quick look at business news. The news continues after the break.
Emirate dynasty of Nzeneri Imoweri, a Sunjaba of Isu local government area of Imo State, announces the funeral program of their matriarch Ezinne Eziada Juliana Nwabari Mberi Ni Obiefule as follows. Tuesday, 3rd January 2023, Christian wake and service of songs at Mberi's compound Nzeneri Imoweri, Imo State by 6 p.m. Wednesday, 4th January, body leaves the Federal Medical Center, FMC Oweri Mortuary to her hometown Nzeneri Imoweri, Isunjaba by 6 a.m. Requiem Mass, St. Joseph's Catholic Church, Isunjaba, by 10 a.m. Interment, Mberi Family Compound. Reception follows immediately at National Primary School, Imoweri, Isunjaba. Sunday, 8th January, Thanksgiving service at Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Imoweri, Isunjaba, by 10 a.m. is survived by Mazi Geoffrey Mberi, son, Dr. Maurice Mberi, son, Permanent Secretary, General Service Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mrs. Rosetta Ihezwo, daughter, Marcelinus Okichuku Mberi, son, Mrs. Chinyere Iwuchuku, daughter, Mr. Victor Anayo Mberi, son, brothers and sister, in-laws, friends and sympathizers. Announcer Mazi Geoffrey Mberi for the family.
Come to the National Center for Women Development, a home away from home. With our beautifully renovated hotel, the center can also boast of a 1,700-seater auditorium for conferences. The edifice has an African, continental, and Arabian restaurants, a daycare creche for nursing mothers. There is also an ICT department for computer training, and also a training department for catering, tailoring, and hairdressing. For more information, please contact the National Center for Women Development, Pele Way, opposite the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN headquarters, Central District Area, Abuja.
The world mourns the passing of Brazilian football legend Pele at the age of 82. Butwa Miller gives us an angle on the life and times of the global icon, which is closer to home.
Raising the second of 3 World Cup titles, Brazilian legend Pele, whose real name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento, passed on Thursday after a long battle with cancer aged 82. Pele is widely regarded as the greatest footballer of all time. The football maestro visited Nigeria on several occasions. In 1969, his football club Santos played an exhibition match against the national team, the Green Eagles, where Nigerians marveled at the sight of Pele. He also visited Benin, opening the bridge linking Benin to Sapele in a difficult period in Nigerian history during the Civil War. In spite of the hostilities, then the governor of Midwest region, Samuel Osiobovo Ogemudia, opened the bridge linking the 2 regions for Nigerians on the Biafra side to cross and watch the match. Former Super Falcons coach Pa Godwin Ezilian was the captain of the Midwest 11 that played that historic match against Pele and Santos FC.
The war was on. People were overconscious, and when the thing came, everybody forgot about the war. The match took place, and for that moment, for the hours, for the number of hours we played this game in the stadium, everybody forgot all about the war until after the game. Pele was indeed a key member of the team that came, and though he was quite smart and good in the field, the problem we had with him was that he wasn't able to communicate with us because of the language. But he was a wonderful young man.
That's why Pele was credited with stopping the civil war in Nigeria for one day. His greatness can be measured by the simple fact that he could make football a spectacle of natural grace and beauty when he missed as much as when he scored. As a 19-year-old boy when he scored twice, as Brazil beat Sweden 5-2 in the 1958 World Cup final, was shown brightest in the galaxy of stars assembled in the legendary 1970 World Cup team, scoring the opening goal in a 4-1 win against Italy in the final in Mexico's AZTEC Stadium. One of the game's first global personalities, he scored a world record 1,281 goals in 1,363 games across a career spanning from his start as a teenager with Santos to finish as a money spinner at New York Cosmos. The football icon died of heart and kidney problems, having been hospitalized since November with multiple ailments, including a respiratory infection. Pele popularized the number 10 jersey, and wherever football is played, the name Pele will be synonymous with the round leather game. Pele, no longer the black earthly pearl of football, but a true legend, now shining with the stars in the sky forever. Budgetary Miller, NTA News.
Good night, number 10. And with that, we conclude the news on NTA. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting NTA's campaign against rape and rapists.